Hi everyone, thanks for joining today's call. Our first agenda item is to review the tickets from the current sprint. For the Big Pig program, they are still, so Simon and I actually spent quite a bit of time last week to go through some of the suggestions and feedback from them. Some of the fixes are already done for those more straightforward, and we all agree on the same page. However, there's quite a few others items that that need to be finalized by the Big Pig team before mUzima team can spend time to work on it. Simon, do you have other updates or other things you want to add?
I think you said it all.
Okay, cool. And then I think the tickets for inconsistent last sync synchronization dates on the device is difficult to reproduce the error. So I would suggest, instead of, because I could not reproduce anymore and then someone could not reproduce anymore, so I would suggest maybe we can close this one for now instead of putting on hold. And then if that happen again, we can reopen these tickets. Or what do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. And then the other ones are the VL forms for the West Ethiopian implementations. Simon, I only post some of those form. I've posted the form keys for probably like majority of the concepts, but there's still a few left. And I already work on the baseline one, so I can update that one later today. Same for the other two forms. So you can let me know if you have any questions on any of those.
Okay.
So that's pretty much for the tickets for this sprint. Is there any question or comment so far? I see Vitalis with us. Hi, Vitalis.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
My voice is not really well, so you'll bear with me.
What is it?
I'm saying my voice is not really well. You'll bear with me.
Okay, sorry about that. So we were just talking about Big Pig forms earlier. So Simon and I fixed those that which are pending in terms of the feedback. We are still waiting for some other feedback from the Big Pig team before we can wrap this up. Do you have any other things to add?
Yes, I was. I think I saw your recommendations and your inputs on the Google Tracker. So I think the major thing maybe that we would request Ada was about the creations of the concepts.
So if you can feedback on those questions, that'll be great on the Google Form. Because we're not sure like which especially that on the workflow, how we propose the workflow to handle those sessions in terms of the numbers and how they prompt. I think that is the major part, because that is going to take a bit of time for Simon to revise it. If you can confirm that, especially the workflow parts, at least Simon can start working on that, because it's need to redo all the sessions workflow, because you guys don't like the current setup.
Yeah, I thought this was a bit clearer, because we try to explain in the form, but now I think it's just a matter of explaining to Simon what we mean, or I don't know where the explanation needs to be emphasized.
Yeah, so if you can write down the exact workflow, for example, if this is what value is input here, how you want the following question to be laid out and displayed, and then how the cycle to inputs for the next members information, that'd be great. I think that is the part that we really want to make sure before Simon, make changes for all of them, because it's going to take a lot of effort.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to make
Okay,
sure
I
that
understand so much.
yeah. So we want to make sure like that the revised workflow we all agree on the revised workflow before programming is going to put in the programming changes, because it's going to take quite a bit of time, as there's so many sessions and then all of them to be revised.
Okay. I was wondering if maybe we can have another forum, or just writing an email and trying to explain through words might not so bring such kind of misunderstanding, or not getting it well. I don't know if.
Yeah, Simon, I think last time when we talked about it, I think we want to make sure the revise of the workflow, especially on the app itself, meet big pic's expectation. We are not, even though we can't know what you guys want, but we want you guys to confirm that is exactly what you guys want before we put in the effort in that. Simon, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, because we don't want to, Simon to work on it and then later, oh no, it's supposed to display like this way or the other way, and it would be quite time consuming, especially the same workflow is going to be used for all the sessions. I hope that it makes sense with us. If you can respond to that, those comments and questions that we have on the Google spreadsheet, that would be really helpful.
Sure, I'll do that, Eda.
Thank you. I think as you point out, the other one is the add a new question for the new concept, that wait for Dr. Kamano and Raj to confirm. When they confirm, that will be simple for us to create one and then make the changes. I think really the major ones are the comments that we post on the Google spreadsheets.
Oh, thank you so much. Then the other one about the participant ID, I hope that is already also settled, that we can put it under registration.
Yes, that one already taken care of.
And also to have the new big pick registration, as you had said, you also said it's possible.
Yes, that's what we agree on. Like, we're going to move the participant ID as patient identified type, and then that will be collected on the new big pick registration form.
Yeah, that would be very great, and I really appreciate Eda for that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
I think if you guys have questions on those, what we on the Google spreadsheet, as well as the phone key with comments, just to confirm or clarify or give us direction, I think that would be really helpful. If not, we'll be continue to be on hold on your forms, because Simon and I need as many as possible, but the rest that we cannot work on until those are clarified.
Yeah, I'm going to go through the Google Docs by the end of today. I should alert you people them based on my comments. And I know maybe there's a question that still the team needed to refresh. That is the question on the QH15 on the ranking.
Yeah, the
So
ranking
that
one.
is what.
Yeah, I think the ranking one. You guys are planning to have a call to discuss that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that one will wait for you guys.
Yeah. So that is the one that will be pending. Otherwise, I'm going to do comments on the Google Docs based on the conclusions that we've had, and just to give more information on the workflows.
Okay, sounds good. So
Yes.
we'll wait from you guys
Thank you
to
so
let us
much.
know the rest of the information.
Sure.
Thank you, Vitalis. Is there any other thing you want to share with us in terms of Big Pig and Lark?
Yeah. I was just worried about you going to vacation and also with our timeline. So I was just worried that probably now we need to have things running before you begin traveling.
Yeah, so that's why I really want to get all these things done, especially you guys also would like to roll out as soon as possible. But as you can tell, like we pretty much kind of like install for like almost a month. Not much progress except like pilot testing and stuff like that. So we are very eager to wrap this up so that we can move on to the next task for us as well. So if you guys can, get us all these things, this week, and I'm sure like Simon and I can try our best and then try to get things done by next week. But if you guys get it for us next week, I think that it create a bit more challenges. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sure. So please help us to push so that we can finish our parts. Thanks. So cool.
I hope you understand,
Go ahead.
like
I'm sorry.
Eda?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you earlier. What do you say?
Yeah, I was just trying to explain that because of the, we have a big team and, the back and forth emails. That is probably what is making this to delay. But we are hopeful that we are going to use the minimum time so far.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, we would like to work together so we can get this done.
Thank you, Ed.
Sure, sounds good. Thanks. So the next agenda item is the implementation update. Since we already talked about Lark and Big Pig, so the next one we can talk about maybe CDM. Simon, Lawrence, since you're on the call, do you want just to give us an update how the CDM forms rollout going?
I may not have much to say. I'm sorry because I've been away for the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm now back, and the first thing I did today was to try and get me into. He was a bit skeptical the other week. I think we all understand how shaky the upgrade process has been for MRS. And I did want to go straight and do up the uploads lest it causes problems. So I spoke to him and we're meeting this afternoon to do the uploads of the most recent forms. And then I'm gonna spend more time, a lot of time this week out there trying to get all the providers up to date with the new form.
Okay.
And then I think from there talk and look at the data at the back end and probably give a small update in the next call.
Yes, I think the updated modules have been loaded to MR's production. So if you guys still encounter issue, let us know.
Yes.
And then it would be great for you guys just to do maybe a couple of rounds of testing for the latest CDM forms in MR's production, just to confirm the data, it works well and then the data processing correctly.
I think we can do that in the next 2 or 3 days before the other providers get using it.
Nice. So where are you guys going to implement those forms?
We have currently we have around 4 active clinical officers with devices. So I was thinking they would probably be the first ones to get their devices up, they downloaded the new form, and then after that we can get the other nurses upgraded as well.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes.
I think Dr. Curie also on the call. Dr. Curie, do you have other things to add?
No, I don't think I have any other to add. I think just waiting for the use of basically the dispensary forms.
Okay, cool. Thanks. So let's know how it goes. I would strongly suggest that the CDM data manager to do like a weekly data monitoring just to make sure that the data in and out makes sense, and then no surprises. That is really, very important to have like a very good data management plan in place to monitor the data regularly, especially the first couple months when you implement new data collection tools.
Yes, Ada, I think I'll communicate with Tom and with Lawrence to see how that so that we can base.
Eda, are you getting us?
Kind of like breaking off.
I'm just saying, we'll liaise with Tom. I think he's very capable of just telling us the progress, and in case of any, we'll be able to report as soon as possible.
Okay, sounds good. Let us know. Especially, we'll be happy just to look at you guys' data management plan and then give some feedback. It's always nice to pick, even once the program seems to go nice and smooth. It's always nice to pick maybe like top 10 data points to look at the data quality, and then it should be rotated.
Eda, if I heard you right, when you say data management plan, is it something that we'd write up, or is it just is it something formal, or how do you want us to do that?
So I think it would be just good for your own program. Like you should have your data manager to write a data management plan in terms of the protocol, and actually another what actually would be done, and then so that when he shares some of the data, it makes sense, and then on agreeable timelines every month, every week, or every 2 weeks, look at the data. I think this is something that a lot of implementations they usually don't do, and then they always get surprises at the end of the study or the program, and then you cannot go back to fix those problems. It's a little bit time consuming at the beginning, but once you set up the plan and do the monitoring, it become like a routine thing. It become very minimal after a month or 2.
Okay, thank you. We'll do that.
Sure. It's really important, and especially like when you plan to write up some reports or writing some paper. A lot of time is people find out surprises when they write paper, and then it would be too late. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So those are what I have, and then I think I add another topic for mUzima forms as there a few inquiries how get more information about the mUzima forms, and thank you so much, Simon, for sharing those links and also drafting the email to the listserv, and I hope that is clarified. But if there's a strong interest in knowing more about that, or it's not clear, maybe we can arrange a time for a future call just to go through the Q&A sessions in person, live. I think that would be helpful. So I was expecting maybe some of the interested party was showing up to the call, but they did not. But I can send through the listserv and see if there is any more questions, and then we can arrange.
Thank you, Ada. I think I can also comment on that.
Sure,
I think I'm one of the persons who benefited really from Simon's email. We learn more about mUzima, and I'll be able to communicate that and do a follow-up.
So yeah, we can also provide some more background information about like XForm and mUzima form. So what happened in the past is that we have because like XForm, it has the XForm designer, which doesn't require like programming background to do to have in order to create XForms, because it's pretty much like a drag and drag and then GUI interface to create the data collection form. So it becomes quite popular for a lot of implementations, as they don't require like developers' time. However, it always have like pros and cons. It include a lot of extra information, especially like all the providers, all the locations in the hard code in the form, and then that means when you have new providers or new location that are added since you created the form, it creates problems that need to update those metadata on your form. And we actually spent a significant of time, about like 9 months, to try to prove the concept that we can convert the XForms into mUzima form through Encato. That process has been proven that it works. However, it's quite painful, and then it also converts a lot of additional XMLs which is not really needed for our mUzima form, and then it creates performance issues in our form processing. So after 9 months of effort, we decided that yes, it works. However, it's not optimal. So that's why we went back. We go back to the native HTML instead. That works much more better in terms of like performance. So I think the email was started, asking about XForms and things like that. We can go through those in another future call when we have like enough interested parties, and then we can go through those discussions. If, like for example, if there's someone that who's interested in making this process more efficient, it could be like a research project for the for the master program or PhD program. We're welcome to do it working with him or her as well. So it doesn't mean that what we did is the end, but if someone wants to look into further, he or she definitely is welcome to do so as well. So I think just to want to give more background information, and also why we are doing what we are doing, and then doesn't mean this is the best, but there's always room for improvement. If there's interest of like looking into this area, we're happy as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Ada.
Yeah, that's true. So that's all I have on my agenda. Is there other things that anyone would to share or comment? If not, we can have a short call today, and then we can catch up on Friday. So thanks, everyone. We'll chat again on Friday then.
Thank you, Ada.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.